Every year you work, you earn money. And part of it disappears before you ever see it. On your paycheck, it shows up as federal tax. And for many people, it feels like that money vanishes into Washington. But it doesn't disappear. It goes somewhere very specific. And where your tax money goes tells a clear story about what the United States actually pays for and what it has promised to keep paying for. The federal government runs on your tax dollars. That money supports retirees, pays soldiers, funds hospitals, builds roads, and helps states run basic services. To understand how this works, we need to look at the federal budget as a system. In this video, we'll break the system into simple parts. First, where the money comes from. Then, the three main places it goes. And finally, the hidden costs most people never see. By the end, you'll know why so much of the budget runs on autopilot and why borrowing keeps growing. In a typical recent year, the federal government collects over $5 trillion. That money all goes into one large pool. From there, it gets divided. But not evenly. And not freely. Most of it is already spoken for before Congress even starts debating. Let's start with where the money comes from. The biggest source is individual income taxes. This is the money taken out of your paycheck based on how much you earn. Together, income taxes make up about half of all federal revenue. The second largest source is payroll taxes. These are set aside for Social Security and Medicare. They come out of your paycheck, and your employer pays part too. The rest comes from corporate taxes and smaller sources like tariffs on imported goods. So the system starts with workers and businesses funding the federal government. Once the money is collected, most of it flows into the first big bucket. This bucket is called mandatory spending. Think of it as autopilot spending. These programs are written into permanent law. If you qualify, the government must pay you. There is no annual vote. No easy pause button. Mandatory spending makes up about 60% of all federal spending. And it keeps growing automatically. The largest program on autopilot is Social Security. It provides monthly income to retired workers, disabled workers, and their families. As more people retire, the cost rises every year. Right next to Social Security are the major health programs. Medicare covers seniors. Medicaid supports people with lower incomes. Together, these health programs consume a massive share of the budget. Rising healthcare costs and an aging population push this spending higher over time. This is the core pressure point in the system. The second bucket works very differently. This is discretionary spending. It is the part Congress debates every year. It must be approved annually. This bucket is smaller but highly visible. About half of it goes to national defense. This includes the military, equipment, and salaries for service members. The other half covers everything else. Education programs, veterans services, national parks, scientific research, transportation and infrastructure. This is the part people argue about most. But it is not the biggest part of the budget. The third bucket is smaller, but increasingly important. This is net interest. For many years, the government has spent more than it collects. To cover the gap, it borrows money. Just like a household, borrowed money comes with interest. As total debt grows and interest rates rise, interest payments grow fast. Today, the government pays over $1 trillion a year just to service past debt. That money funds nothing new. It only pays for yesterday. There is also spending you never see. This is called tax expenditures. These are tax breaks, deductions, and exclusions. For example, mortgage interest deductions or employer-provided health insurance that is not taxed. The government never collects this money, but the effect is the same. Less revenue comes in. Altogether, tax breaks cost nearly $2 trillion a year. More than Social Security. More than the military. When you put everything together, a clear system appears. Most tax money is locked into promises made decades ago, for retirement and health care. What's left gets divided between defense and public services. When revenue falls short, the government borrows. That borrowing increases debt. Debt increases interest. And interest takes up more of the budget. Over time, interest crowds out choices. The system becomes less flexible even as needs grow. Your tax dollars don't vanish. They move through a system designed to balance the past, the present, and the future. Understanding that system is the first step to understanding the country itself. This is Simplexplain. Complex ideas simply explained.